Okay, here we have Daily Planet, which is a sort of hilarious name. And of course, we're just calling her Planet. And this mare is unbelievable. If anyone is looking for a really athletic superstar type horse, this mare is just like crazy full of talent. She's an unbelievable mover, super powerful, gorgeous shape. She's like really the real deal for someone who wants a serious horse. So she's a 6 year old thoroughbred mare. She's 16 hands. She ran 30 times and but she actually only had one start this year, and it was back in January where obviously she ran non-competitively. And so then she was retired from racing, and she spent the last 6 months or so at my friend Jody's farm, just turned out in a big field with a herd of horses. So she's very well let down and acclimated to, full group turnout and that sort of thing. So this is her first ride in quite a while then. And she, like my other mare who I just posted, Gala Rose, this mare did an unbelievably good job of ignoring the concrete construction that was happening behind our house right alongside the ring. And it's just a crazy hot day. But she was just all business. And my goodness, she is just a powerhouse. And when she sorts out the contact, which you'll see, right here, it's like we're getting there, we're talking, we're having discussions, and they're going in the right direction. And then right about here, she's sort of clicking in. She's like, "Oh, okay, that's what you want." And she starts to give me her top line, and then right here, I mean, this just feels unbelievable. She is just so talented. It took me a second to get the bend back to the left, but just crazy gorgeous movement and shape. And this is a serious horse for somebody who wants to go do stuff. She is definitely an alpha type mare. I mean, you have to be pretty sure of yourself that you can set the guidelines and say, okay, like there's no gray area. This is what we're going to do. And I'm going to be the captain and you're going to be the co-pilot, and I will tell you what I want you to do. You can't give her room to make her own decisions, because she certainly will, and not in a naughty way, but just in a way where she needs structure, right? If you don't tell her what to do, she's going to give you something to do. And you'll see, like, as we come down this long side, one time she just wanted to sort of speed up, another time she wanted to put her haunches in. And so you have to really regulate for her, like exactly the parameters you want her to be in. But like right here, when she clicks all those things into place and she's straight and she's between the legs and the hands, and she just is gorgeous. I mean, there's just no way around it, that the shape that she's making right here and her way of going is just, it's really phenomenal. So she's definitely not for the timid rider, but she is for, I would say, the serious rider, with aspirations, who really wants a nice, super talented horse to develop. She had absolutely no naughty behavior whatsoever, right? She doesn't want to, she's certainly not going to rear. She doesn't want to buck, nothing like that. And she's not spooky at all. She completely ignored the construction crew the entire time. But she's just a powerful moving horse. So you just have to be comfortable setting sort of parameters for her and helping her to align all the parts so that they move together cohesively. So it took me a minute to get the canter sort of settled. She did a perfectly fine transition. It's just, she's a big moving horse, and that's especially true in the canter. So it just took me a second to sort of settle her into it. And then there you'll see she sort of broke out of it, because of course she's so big moving that it's really a lot for her to put together and hold together. But then here she gives me some good work in the canter. When I watch this horse canter, I just cannot help but imagine her out on a cross country course or fox hunting and just tearing it up. So this was the towards the end of the ride. We took a walk break after we did the left canter, because it's just outrageously hot and humid in Maryland. And so we picked up the reins to do a right canter. Now she is a little bit favorable to the left. That well, actually, I guess I go back and forth on that. I actually got her soft and connected first going to the right, but I would say that definitely she bends a little easier to the left right now. So when we canter to the right, it's not, it's not perfect. It's not exactly where I would want it, but it's just a starting point for where she is right now. And honestly, I would have spent more time working on it to get it a little bit more wrapped around my inside leg, but oh my God, we were just so hot, and it just seemed like today was not the day to pick. She was fantastic, so we just left it where it was, and we'll come back to it. Here's some beautiful steps. My God, she's gorgeous. So same thing as in the left canter. She does perfectly fine transition, but it took me just a second to get her balance where I wanted it and settled. And so you'll notice in that corner we just came out of, that's sort of where she wants to lean on that inside shoulder. And I was in half seat here because obviously she's not fit, right? She hasn't worked in the last 6 months. And it just felt, I think I did try sitting, and she just isn't quite strong enough to the right to really support the sitting yet, even though obviously that's where she needs to go and what she needs to develop. And then here she ends with some really beautiful work in the trot. God, she felt like butter when we were at this point in the ride. And then I went back and looked at her pictures, and she just looks as gorgeous as she felt. And I think here coming up, I've got another clip of her walking. I think this mare has a phenomenal walk, so I've got lots of walking. She really walks with intention, like she's going somewhere. And then after this little walk clip, there's some footage of her being tacked up on cross ties. She is excellent on the ground, very well mannered.